an unseen hand was guiding the Vex. Quria, the dreaming mind, brought this endless night with it. It has been draining the energy from this city. We do not yet know why. Ikora and Osiris have thoughts, but the details do not change the truth. Quria must be stopped. But first, we must find it. I have reached into its domain, but the Vex forces break my sight. I believe I am close, but I must focus. You, Guardian, strike the Vex now, with great force, so that I may see Quria through your ripples. It may seek the destruction of your city, or of your vanguard, or something even greater may be at stake. Darkness in hand and darkness in heart are not the same. True valor cannot be turned.
You worship the Traveler, but condone the use of darkness. How very convenient.
Great houses destroyed. Made refugees in a foreign land. Nothing is convenient for Elixni.
This infinite realm beyond material space is but one of many. The universe holds so many dark and fascinating secrets. If only our eyes were open enough to see them.
With this victory, the threads of night are further unraveled, and the weaver of this dark tapestry can no longer elude us. I have found a route to Quiria's hiding place. It is concealed behind numerous layers of defenses compiled by the Vex.
But now we have a target.
Something we can hit!
I would caution you against underestimating Quria.
Agreed. We must strike carefully. Mitigate Quiria's ability to rally defenses. Then, punch through the network like a white-hot sword of praxic fire.
We can do this. Together. Together.
I should check in with Saint.
Osiris, there is something I must discuss with you. Lakshmi, she came to me with a proposal.
You taking over as Titan Vanguard? She discussed it with me as well. Lakshmi has radical ideas, but they are only words. No cause for alarm.
Good, good. Only words, of course.
She wants what is best for the people of the city. And in truth, you would make an excellent leader.
I do not seek authority. Zavala may have a beautiful desk, but he is chained to it. We could use less bureaucracy, maybe. More proactive strategies, where we reclaim ground taken from humanity. An open council in the city to speak with the citizens. I have imagined a new vanguard, led by us.
Led by you. I will stay back and advise. I lack the temperament for leadership.
a fantasy only. I told Lakshmi I would think about it so she would go away. The words, tasted like treason in my mouth.
Let her believe you are considering it. If you refuse, I imagine she might approach Lord Saladin next. And after what happened with Kaito...
I understand. Later we will speak more of this.
It appears Lakshmi is speaking a bit too freely. I will report her behavior to Ikora, though I imagine she already knows. You should continue working with Lakshmi. Don't mention what you've heard. We must keep this as quiet as we can. With the endless night and the Elixni here, the city has become a powder keg. One errant spark and it could be the end of the Vanguard.
Vile presence pulsing in the heart of their network. I feel a strong hand pull against the threads tied to everyone living in this city. This has gone on too long, Guardian. None can spend so long in the night. Death surrounds this place. The true death, which always starts from within. I have heard your people say it is darkest before the dawn. There is comfort in that, yes. But I fear this endless night will grow even more terrible before we see the sun again.
People of the last city. The last time I spoke to you, I was silenced. Clearly, Ikora fears the ugly truth. The Vanguard have betrayed you. You need not take my word for it. Simply look at their actions. The Vanguard have turned their backs on the light, and now openly wield the darkness. They force you to shelter a horde of fallen, led by a fugitive with ties to the Vex. And finally, they tried to cover up Sultan's involvement in it all. Ikora claimed that the fallen could stop the endless night. But on the contrary, they have only made things worse. It's even possible that the Witch Queen walks among them. Unfortunately, the current Vanguard will stop at nothing to protect their place in their ivory tower. They don't understand the people of the last city, and their actions prove it. Future war calls. A new monarchy say, enough. We intend to return this city to its people. If the Vanguard won't protect you, then we will.
They say the promenade of the core district never sleeps. In times of celebration, it was a parade ground meant to extol the virtues of the Guardians and show the people of the city the faces of their often distant defenders. To see it empty was almost unheard of since the Red War. Executor Hideo of New Monarchy walked alongside Lakshmi to a future war cult, observing vendor stalls decorated in neon lights that flickered intermittently as they passed. But there were no vendors, no proprietors. Hideo glanced over his shoulder at the 4 future war cult security officers that followed behind them at a respectful distance. Do you remember the last time this street was empty? He asked. Yes, Lakshmi said with a heavy heart. They called me a fool then as well. She did nothing to hide the contempt in her voice. We make mistakes in circles, Hideo. Walking in a loop of our own self-made despair. Before he could formulate a response, Hideo spotted the reason for their walk through the endless night, a towering behemoth of chrome and lavender cloth, hunched over in an abandoned plaza. Saint 14 focused on the birds underfoot, scattering a handmade mix of seed on the ground while he cooed contentedly at the pigeons. You have chosen poor night for walk, he observed as Hideo and Lakshmi approached. Do you need escort back to tower? Hideo shook his head. No, Saint. We went to find you in the hangar, and Ms. Holiday informed us that you had come here too. He eyed the birds. Contemplate. Birds are uncomplicated. Good conversationalists. They give me room to think, Saint said with a smile in his voice. How can I help? The consensus has struggled, as of late, with some of the Vanguard's decisions regarding the city's security. We wanted to expand that conversation to include you, Lakshmi said. But not Iraq Jalal? Saint asked, a more pointed and cunning response than either Hideo or Lakshmi anticipated. No, Hideo quickly confirmed. Lakshmi verbally maneuvered around Hideo's answer like water around a stone. This is about ensuring that the best interests of the city are at the forefront of the Vanguard's mind. Saint fixed his helmed visage on Lakshmi. The Elixni. A statement, not a question. The Vanguard are a military force, and the consensus does not doubt their commitment to defending the city beyond its borders. Lakshmi carefully worded her approach. But we have come to doubt that a military force is the best governance for the city inside of its walls. Saint squared his shoulders as if presented a challenge and looked between Hideo and Lakshmi. His stoicism twisted Hideo's stomach into knots. We would like to propose a restructuring of the city's leadership, placing the Vanguard as the authority for what goes on outside the walls. Hideo gestured toward the mountains, and respective leadership here inside the city. He motioned to Saint. This is bad plan, Saint said without any attempt at obfuscating his feelings. Surely you understand that tactical options in the field do not always apply unilaterally in a civilian quarter, Hideo pleaded. On top of that, the Vanguard is stretched too thin. They cannot be the leadership they need to be. Saint balked. Then why come to me? I am no politician. But you are a leader, Lakshmi countered as she placed a hand over her chest. A hero. A symbol to the people. Saint drew in a steady breath and grew silent. It may not feel like the right choice because of your personal feelings toward Commander Zavala and Ikora. Change can sometimes feel distasteful. But I know you aren't one to ignore your sense of duty. Saint looked down at his feet, at the birds, at the seed. I must speak with Osiris, he asserted. Lakshmi briefly regarded Hideo and nodded. Give your partner our regards. I will, Saint said stiffly, scattering the last of the seed in his hand to the birds before departing the plaza. Hideo and Lakshmi waited under the watchful eye of the traveler until Saint was gone. If he tells Zavala or Ikora, Hideo said through clenched teeth. Osiris will stop him from doing anything so stupid, Lakshmi said, the softness in her voice gone. And if he is so short-sighted as to refuse us as Saladin did. Hideo's stomach twisted again,